Hey everyone, Shabby Gamer here and welcome to another episode of our Gibraltar Challenge here on Football Manager 2016. Now in this episode we are going to have the two cup finals for the season. Of course the first one, as you can see there on the screen, is going to be against Lincoln Red Imps in the Senior League Cup final. The second one, which is the Rock Cup final, we don't quite know who we're going to be playing against yet. It's either going to be Lynx or College 1975. I think College is actually a Division 1 team, not actually one of the teams in the top divisions. That's interesting. Well, second division side, sorry. And Lynx are a first division side, so obviously College have really overperformed this season, which is good for them. But yeah, enough of me blabbing on. Let's get into that first match against Lincoln Red Imps and see if we can secure the first cup of the episode. And here we are. Now, one thing this episode is also going to be is it's going to be a send-off for Sergio Tundi, of course. This will be his last two games before he leaves us to join Stoke City in the summer for £6 million. So I can't moan too much about that. It's disappointing to lose him, but £6 million isn't too bad anyway. So obviously we are 1-6, they are 10-1, so we are the massive favourites for this one. And squad-wise, we've changed the formation again, as we like to quite often. And it's actually a good thing to do, change your formation quite a lot. So I've got 3 formations set up that we're trained in and we can play very well in. And just by changing them often, it keeps your opponent second guessing. It's more difficult for them to catch right. If you play the same formation every match, the computer generally starts to counter your formations, which is quite clever the way they do that. But we're going to be going with Tarasov in goal, the young Russian goalkeeper. I like him actually, he's been pretty good for us. At left back we got Jared Murphy back in. Good player as well, his stats are going up, nice to see. Again, I mentioned in the last episode, if someone were to come in for Jared Murphy in the summer, I think we might have to let him go because we do have some good players coming in, involving a left back as well. So into the centre back positions we have first Obef Patino, always a great player. Alongside him, Simplice McKendy, who is playing for the under-21s for Belgium again recently. If we can keep him out of the national side, that'd be great, and we can get him into the Gibraltar side instead. Jamie Wildman up the right-back position. Into the central midfield spots, we have Anders Broger. Again, a very good player. We brought him at 16 years old, and he's really developed into a cracking player. Alongside him, Luis Cabrera, who again will probably be leaving us this summer. I really don't want to lose him, but he wants to leave, and quite a few clubs have come in. Well, quite a few clubs have declared their interest in him. Up the left-hand side, we have Finn Baird, who is a great player, isn't he? Really, Finn Baird. I really like him. He's getting better and better. I don't think he's quite going to hit the heights of what his potential was supposed to be, according to the scouts, anyway. But you never know. Alongside him in the centre, we have Sergio Ayazun, a player we brought in not too long ago, actually, only a couple of episodes ago, and he's not played that many games yet, but from what he has done, he has been fantastic. On the right hand side we have Sergio Tundi, who, like I said, will be leaving us to go and join Stoke in the Premiership in the summer, which is, it's a big move for him, and we get £6 million out of it as well, so I'm very happy about that. And that £6 million will all be invested in new players, I promise you that. And then up front we have Joe Stevens, who has had a cracking season. He scored 24 goals in 24 games this season with 12 assists and 6 player of the matches. Of course, this over here only includes league goals, which is really annoying. It does the same over here, doesn't it? Yeah. It only shows up league goals, but if you look at how well he's done in continental competitions and cup competitions as well, it's quite frustrating the way that's done that. But there you go, it's not a major problem, is it? But yeah, that's our team for today. Bench-wise, no one special. Ramito, Madison, the centre-back, Morgan, defensive midfield, Baez, attacking midfield or striker, and then Kongoyoi is, of course, another defensor. A defensor? He's a defensor, he is. So yeah, let's get straight into the game. Let's see how we get on. It's fantastic fans, yeah, that'll do. I didn't really read it, I just skimmed through it. See, this is what I don't understand sometimes. I really don't get it, because there's one stadium in Gibraltar, yet for some reason, unless it was just a different angle when they took the kick-off. Let me wait to see before I moan about it. Can't quite see what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the far stand. I'm sure it wasn't the big stand. I don't think it's updated this stadium. I don't know why. Or has it? Yes, it has. Yeah, it must have been a different camera angle. So the stands are still looking nice and full. Atundi's ball in. Finbed off the crossbar. Stevens puts it in, and we are in the lead 10 minutes into the game. And Europa Point look like they're going to be getting another cup. And why not? We deserve it. We deserve every part of it. Burton did a decent job trying to save it. Baird hit the crossbar originally. Burton tried to get there. And Stevens just picks up the pieces. And we lead 1-0 here against Lincoln Red Imps. And straight away we've got a corner looking for a second. Wilkinson heads it clear. But I think Oyazun's going to get there again. He is on the ball. Plays it into Cabrera. Plays the ball over the top, and it does go to Baird, and Baird puts it into the back of the net, and we are 2-0 up within the first 15 minutes of the game. 2 goals in 4 minutes, and I think this first cup is looking very good for us right now. I'm happy about our situation. Very happy about our situation. Great ball by Cabrera. I'm not quite sure if Baird was who he was looking for, but it's Baird who got there, and he's not going to moan too much. He's going to be happy with that himself. So now 2-0 up. Can we sign this cup off in style against one of our biggest rivals? Of course, when we started this career mode, or this Gibraltar challenge, Lincoln Red Imps were the pinnacle of Gibraltarian football. They were the strongest team by quite some distance. They had some cracking players as well, but they've slowly dropped, and they've dropped behind not just us but quite a few other clubs like Glasses United have done very, very well, and Red Imps have struggled. They've always been around about the upper mid-card, to use a wrestling term. They've always been around about there, but they struggle. I don't think they finished second for a while. I think other clubs are always getting there. I think Glasses have really done a good job. I think both Glasses and Gibraltar United are the two clubs that have really started to show improvements over the last couple of years, especially since they've signed, especially Gibraltar United signed 3 of the players that we released last season, which is fantastic to see. They've kept a hold of those guys in the country, which also means they're gaining extra days towards Gibraltarian nationality, which is fantastic. And talking of which, we should have at least 1 player eligible for Gibraltar by the end of the season. The young French goalkeeper we've got, Le Guin. I don't know if you remember him or not. We brought him at the age of 16 years old, the French gun. He has just now taken Gibraltarian nationality yesterday, I think, or just before I hit record on this episode. He has 2 years left to be able to play for the national side, and I've just offered him a 4-year deal to lock him in for those 2 years. So that'd be great to get a goalkeeper for the national side. Be an upgrade to what they currently have, and it'd be a good player for them actually. And I think a player we want to try and use a bit more. Goalkeepers are ones that we don't often change around a lot, but we've got 3 keepers we've been trying to give first team football to this season. Of course, Ramito, Tarasov, and Badji. By adding Le Guin on there as well, that could be a little bit tricky, but it'd be worth doing. Broga gets the goal. It's 3-0 on the 35th minute. Broga's not scored this season. That's his first goal, and he gets it in the cup final. What a great time to score it. Of course, Broga normally plays more of a defensive role. He's more of a holding midfielder, which is probably the reason why he hasn't had a chance to score. But he's playing central midfield here, and he managed to make a run past the striker Stevens to get himself in a situation to play that ball past the keeper, and Broga will be very, very happy with that. And we are 3-0 up here. I'm really interested to see next season as well if we can just continue on our good run in Europe. Of course, last year we got to the Champions League group stage. This year we actually got through the Europa League group stage. We actually got through into the Europa League knockout stage. So it'll be interesting to see if we can at least get to the group stage of the Europa League or the Champions League again. That'd be fantastic. And obviously we've got some really good players coming in. I did mention the last episode that I have made a signing. Of course, it doesn't go through until the transfer window, but we are going to buy our first player for over £1 million. That's going to be a big, big day for us. Of course, you'll find out exactly who that is in the next episode, as well as some other really top-class players. We've got 2 players I've signed from Real Madrid, and they'll be coming in next episode as well, so be sure to keep an eye out for that. Oh, what a goal. Stevens showing that he can do it himself there from outside the area as well. Fabulous strike from Stevens. That's his 24th goal. I'm sure he had 24 goals before. I'm sure we looked at that earlier and he had 24 goals, but there you go. There's a good ball by Broga into Baird, and Stevens just thought, you know what, I'm going to go for it. And great finish right in the bottom corner. So of course, if you didn't see the last episode as well, I did mention obviously that we've finished the stadium expansion, as you can see the far stand. I tried to build the new stadium straight after that, and I was told that we didn't have a big enough fan base, which is a bit of a shame. But we have managed to agree to extending the stadium more. So that will start at the beginning of next season. So we'll lose another stand, but I think it's worth it to continue building the stands up. And I was sort of debating whether just trying to max this stadium out before we try and get our own, because this stadium can go to a maximum size of 5,000. It's currently only at 3,000. If we can get up to 5,000, then that'll be a big improvement for us and for the other clubs in the country. But it means that we're helping the other clubs out, because just because we get our own stadium, I dare say the other clubs in the country won't. So if we can max this out to a 5,000 capacity, then it means all the other clubs in the nation can use that, and then we'll then go off and build our own stadium afterwards. That's probably going to take another 3, 4, maybe 5 years at the most, and then we can look at building our own 500,000 seater stadium. We're 5-0 up in the first half. Finn Baird scored 2 with 2 assists. Stevens has scored 2 and got 1 assist. Broga 1 goal, 1 assist, and Cabrera with an assist as well. See, that's the sort of goal scoring turnaround I like. 15 shots, 8 on target, 5 goals. I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with that. And Broga almost getting his second of the game and his second of the season. That looked like a penalty to me. He's given the free kick against Broga. That looked like a penalty to me. And Broga has been booked. Well, I'm a little bit worried about that, actually, I must admit. Might bring Broga off in the second half, just to make sure he doesn't get a second book and end up getting himself suspended for that second cup final. Media's given you a lot of credit recently. See, that always seems to confuse one person. I don't know why. Go out there and prove yourself. I don't know why it's kept everyone happy apart from Broga. I'm not quite sure why. So Cabrera back to McKendy. I'm still surprised we got McKendy for such a cheap amount of money. He only costs like 200,000, 250,000, and he's worth like 400,000 now already. Right, so we're going to get to around about the hour mark, so we'll make a couple of substitutions. I would say by next episode this team could look very, very different, and that's a shame. I think we're going to end up losing some players. I think maybe Chris Morgan's a possibility of being lost. I'm hoping we don't, but he's a possibility. Christian Baez is a possibility, as is Cabrera. I think Baez and Cabrera are more than a possibility. I think they're likely to be leaving. I don't want to lose them, but clubs want them and they want to leave because they're bigger clubs apparently. Well, we're actually losing players to top clubs around Europe, which is good. We're losing players to, like we lost at Evola, our left back, a couple of episodes. Oh, Stevens has scored again. That's Stevens' hat-trick. Yeah, we lost our left back, Evola, a few episodes ago to a team in the Serie A, and he's playing first team football. We lost Zhang Song-jae at the beginning of the season, our right back. He went to Hertha Berlin in Germany, and he's played all season for them at right back. So it shows the sort of quality of players we're finding on free transfers. We're doing very, very well, actually. So I'm happy with how things are going. I'm happy with Finn Baird and Joe Stevens in this game as well. They've been incredible. Now, I want to make sure we keep a clean sheet. We don't want to concede one. And that was a terrible free kick. Tarasov picks it up. Now, can he instigate a counter-attack here? Doesn't look like it. It's very slow. Does play a big ball up there now. But Finn Baird might just get there. No, it's headed clear by James. But Morgan gets it. Plays it across to Baez, who plays it across the pitch to Serge Tundi on his farewell tour. Serge Tundi, a player we've had for about 5 or 6 years now. Been a real rock for us, but now leaving to join Stoke City in the summer for £6 million, which is going to be our record sell, I think. We sold Mashego a few episodes back for £5 million to PSG, our Australian goalkeeper, and now Atundi's leaving for £6 million. And that's very much how I like to play these games. I like to scour and find the good young players. I know from experience from playing some of these games, I know where to find some of these players from. For example, the FIFA Centre of Excellence in Australia is always a good place, and I've brought quite a few players from there in the past. So always keep an eye out for them if you can. And then just scouring the market for free transfers as well. You often find a few, and I think the thing that helped us out very early is when I convinced our new owners to allow us to scout the entire world, which meant if I did find a free transfer, I could scout them no matter where they were, Brazilian, Asian, anywhere they could be scouted. It's such a good thing to do, because then you can start to see how good their stats are and if they're worth signing or not. And there we go, a 6-0 win. We have won the Senior League Cup for, I can't even count how many times we've won it in a row now, but it's definitely been good. Finn Baird gets the man of the match with his 2 goals and 3 assists, so he's had a cracking game. Joe Stevens again with a hat-trick. He scored 4 goals in the game last episode as well, and 1 assist, so it's been a really good game for us. I'm happy with that. Let's get into Cup Final number 2 against either Lynx or College. Now, I brought you back a little bit early because I've just noticed something a little bit interesting. Bruno Ramito is only 21 days away from being eligible to play for Gibraltar. Now, I don't know if he'll do it or not, because there's a good chance he could still play for Australia, but if he ever decides that he wants to, he could play for Gibraltar, and that would be a massive, massive boost for Gibraltarian football. That's a big one, that one. I'm just looking through a few of the players that I know we've had for some time to see how long they're going to be. Jamie Wildman, I think, is still about a year or so. He should be okay next season, so a year and a half away, and Jamie Wildman should be in the national side. There's going to be such a big amount of players coming through. Jim Morrison is now only 24 days away from being able to play for Gibraltar. That's a big one, and I'm sure there's probably some more as well that we've had for a long time. Bustamante wants to do it as well, but I think he's still a couple of seasons away. He's a season and a half away as well, so Bustamante will be a massive one for the national side to have. Frank Banning, would he consider doing it? He is still a year and a half away as well. So there's going to be a lot, isn't there? Finn Baird, he can't be too far away either then, can he? He's a year and a half away. Okay, it's after the age of 18, isn't it? So that's why it takes a bit longer. Eric Bernal, he's been here for a while. Oh, he needs over 2 years, Eric Bernal. I reckon he could do that. I think over the next couple of seasons there's going to be a lot of these players signing up for Gibraltar, which is going to really help us out as well, I think, with our international squads as well. Not international, our Champions League and Europa League squads, because that will give us more homegrown players as well. Yeah, but enough of me blabbing on. Let's get into that game against... It's going to be against Lynx in the Rock Cup finals. Let's get straight into that one now. And here we go. We are still big favourites. Not quite as big favourites as we were against Lincoln Redims, which is a little bit of a surprise actually. I thought we would be bigger favourites for this one, but there you go. Squad wise, we've changed our formation again. This is a formation, as I've said, that we'll probably be playing quite a lot next season. I'm just the only thing that might change is going to be the calibration of these two here. Whether these become both defensive midfielders, probably they will, or whether we just stick the way they are, or they both become central midfielders. It can change around quite a lot, can't it, really? Their team, nobody that used to play for us, I don't think, off the top of my head. There probably is one or two in there, who knows. So yeah, we've got Bruno Ramito in goal. Fresh after realising he's only 21 days away from being able to play for Gibraltar as their goalkeeper. That would be a massive one for them. That would be huge. I'd love to see that. Then the left-hand side, we have Jared Murphy, as always. Well, not for too much longer, is there? Jared Madison comes into centre-back. A player we've had for a few years now, and he's only played 31 games. This is his third season for us. He's struggled to get a lot of first-team football, but we're trying to give him as much as we can. Alongside him, Simplice McKendy, a player who's just getting better and better. Look at them stats. For a centre-back, it's incredible, isn't it, really? Right midfield, of course, Jamie Wildman. Next season, he'll be playing for Gibraltar. That'd be really good. Centre defensive midfield, Obef Bitinho. A player who... It's a bit strange that nobody wants this lad, because I think he's actually one of our best players. You look at those mental attributes, they're fantastic. So I'm surprised he's not actually wanted. Talking of players that are wanted, Luis Cabrera. He's going to be playing the central midfield role today. He's a cracking player. It just surprised me sometimes when I look at how good some of these players are. Then we've got three attacking midfielders. Of course, Sergio Tundi playing his last ever match for the team. So he's going to be hopefully going out on a high. He's going to be leaving with a medal, though, I suppose. That's a good thing for him. Christian Baez alongside him. This could also be his last match as well. He's no longer wanted. Baez was wanted by quite a few clubs, but no longer. That's an interesting one, that. Oyazun as well in the central attacking midfield spot. If we can keep a hold of him and Baez, we could have a really cracking squad next season. And then the striking position, of course, is going to be Joe Stevens, the last game of the season for him. He's had a cracking season, 27 goals in 25 games. So we're really going to see some interesting football from him. Some interesting results. It's a little bit of a shame that for some reason they don't class European games and cup games in the history, which is a little bit annoying. But I'd like to be able to see that, but it's only showing league games at the moment. I don't know if I can change that or whether it's just that's the way it is. So then, can we get an early goal and calm our nerves? Because the last thing we want is to end up losing here. We've won both of these cups for quite a considerable amount of time in a row. It'd be a shame if we didn't this time. Madison plays it into Atundi, to Cabrera, into Oyazun, to Baez. 10 minutes in, what can Baez do here? Showing his ability. Taking him left, taking him right, tried the shot. It was a little bit squiffy. And it goes straight over the top. Murphy now plays the long throw to Oyazun. Back to Coutinho. Coutinho plays it in. It's only gone as far as Holmes, who clears it out wide to Morandi. Big ball forward, but Maddison cuts it out well to Coutinho, who plays it to Oyazun. Out wide to Sergio Tundi, who we know is definitely in his last game because he's already signed a contract with Stoke City. And he loses the ball there to Ruiz, who clears it, but only as far... Oh no, Spencer does get it. And all of a sudden Links are on the counter-attack. Durant out to Spencer. See the difference in play between the two clubs. Links are very, very slow and laboured moving forward where we get the ball, and you just see the speed of everyone moving forward quickly. Baez plays it through to Atundi, hooks it into Oyazun. Oyazun sees Stevens. Can he get there before the keeper? He does, and we score 1-0. Stevens once again. I tell you what, Stevens, if we play this formation quite a lot next season, if Stevens is going to be sat there ahead of three quality attacking central midfielders, which is going to be very, very likely because we've got a few, we've got two, I think, off the top of my head, attacking central midfielders signing in the summer. Both are very, very high quality, and Stevens is going to have just so much really good, what's the words I'm looking for? Supply the ball, that's the words I'm looking for. It's going to be a struggle for Stevens not to score lots of goals next season. Hamilton plays the big ball forward to Barcelo. It's headed clear by Cabrera, a player who may very well be leaving us in the summer. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping to keep as many of these players as I possibly can. But at the same time, I've already signed replacements for ones that I was pretty sure we're going to be losing. So it could get a bit more difficult next season with having too many players in the squad. McKendy, big ball forward. It comes as far as Stevens, and Stevens has got there. What can he do? He hasn't got much support. Does he need support? He doesn't. Stevens, it's saved well by Hamilton. Stevens almost did that alone then. It was a great clearance there by McKendy. I'm not quite sure if he was intending to play that ball to Stevens or whether that was just luck, but I'm sure he'd be claiming it. So we are leading. I always moan about this. Now, I don't know whether I'm just being over the top or not, but 1 goal from 11 shots and 4 on target from 11 shots is very disappointing in my book. But there you go. That's my book, I suppose. It's not for you to worry about, it's for me. So, can we get another goal before half time? That'd be lovely if we could. 40 minutes in, I don't know if we're going to get another goal before half time. We're not actually playing fantastically well in this game. We're dominating possession, 65% there. 17 shots, 4 on target still. 1 goal. It's not a good return, is it? Maybe we could get a goal for half time here. We've got a minute of added time, and Murphy's bringing the ball forward on the left hand side, plays it into Oyazun. Sees the run of Baez. Baez has got 3 men around him there. Oyazun across to Atundi, and again it's getting very congested. Their defence is very good. And, Atundi's ball into Stevens was great, and it took a big deflection, but Hamilton saved it, and it's gone out for a corner. And it's going to be taken here by Oyazun. Big ball in. Oh, headed over the top by Maddison. It looks like we're not going to get a second goal before half time, but at least we're pushing a bit more now. And 19 shots, 19 shots, 5 on target. I'm going to say... I don't know. Let's just do that one. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to say you've done okay, but I know you can do better sort of thing, but... So I'm drinking cider while recording this. That was me glugging away if you heard that. Come on guys, what can you do? Ball in by Baez to Maddison. Oh, it's cleared, and Ruiz clears it fully. Wildman now looks to be picking it up. So 20 shots, 5 on target means we've got a 25% shot accuracy. That's not very good, is it? Baez. Ball over the top. Maddison. Oh, it's off the crossbar. Maddison off the crossbar. Now, both Maddison and Wildman, I think, are both players that will definitely be joining the national side in the next 2 years or so, which is very good. Like I say, Jim Morrison's definitely going to be joining in the national side, and I think he should be getting his first cap very, very soon, actually. I think we'll have a friendly or two in the next few months, maybe beginning the next season. It's generally around about September, October, we have a couple of games. So it's going to be great to see him in there. Stevens ball forward to Baez. Baez, oh, it's going to be an own goal. It is. It's Gordeev. Oh, unfortunate Gordeev, a player who we released last season, a Russian centre-back. It's a shame for him. It's great for him to still be in the nation playing football, though. I'm happy about that. But unfortunately for him, he does score the own goal. It's not his own. It's not his fault, really. It was just a bit of pinball, and it unluckily bounced off his leg. It could have happened to anybody, really. So we're 2-0 up now. Cabrera's not having a very good game, is he? So I'm going to bring Cabrera off, you know. Let's do some changes. Let's bring on Eric Franks in place of Stevens. Franks needs a bit of football as well. Chris Morgan in place of Cabrera. And then let's bring on Kongongai in place of McKendy. Let's give some other people a chance to experience cup final football here today. And maybe Franks can have a little bit more luck with hitting the target, because it doesn't look like Stevens has had so much luck today. But then again, these three guys probably won't play very well now, because the way the game works is if you bring substitutes on when you're winning quite convincingly, generally they'll just be very complacent and they're not really that bothered about the result. But you never know, Franks could pop up with a goal. With that, again, with that much supply set behind him, it's difficult not to score, isn't it really? Baez sees Franks. Franks sees the run of Atundi. Can he get a goal? Oh my word. Stoke, you're paying £6 million for someone who shoots like that. 30 shots, 7 on target, 2 goals. That is a rough turnaround, isn't it, really? Baez, oh, clear space there for Oyazun. Brings it inside. Oh, he's been tackled fantastically there by Hunter. Well done to Hunter, who plays the ball forward. It's picked up by Barcelo into Spencer. And can Lynx catch us on the counter-attack here? You never know. They could make the end of this game very itchy for us if they can get a goal back. Morandi's out wide. The ball's come in. He's trying to lob. Morita. Oh, Spencer. 2 shots. A third. Oh, Ramito in goal. And Madison does well at the final one to block it off. Great bit of play there between them three. Between them two, shall I say. And that just shows the ability of our defenders. Davis out wide to Morandi. And Oyazun plays it forward to Franks. And maybe we can catch them on the break now. Baez. Nope, loses it and Barcelo picks it back up. It's all end to end here now. The ball's got loose again and Morgan's on there. And we've got a 4-on-4 here by the looks of it. If Morgan can play it in, he does play it in. And it's headed clear by Barrett, but only as far as Obef Patino, who plays it forward to Baez. Baez out wide to Jared Murphy. Now, it's very important in this formation for our wing-backs, Murphy and Wildman, to give us the width. Maybe I need to make them more attacking wing-backs, maybe, rather than just the right back and left back they are. I might have a look at that, actually. Might have a look at changing this formation around a little bit. The problem is it's so rare to get wing-backs on this game. Everyone's either a left back or right back. No one can play wing-back. We could always train it into them, but it's a waste of training, really, when we could be training up specific stats or positional play and positions they play a lot more often. I don't know. I'll have a look. You never know, we might end up having a really good right back and wing back. Franks now gets tackled by Hunter, and I think it's going to be the full-time whistle in a second. It's been a hell of a long highlight. Morgan to Oyazun. It's 2-0 now. We've gone across. There we go. There we go. There's the Rock Cup. It was only a 2-0 win, but they all count. We got it. I was happy about that. And it's good for us. A good 2-0 win. Man of the match goes to Christian Baez for a 9.0 for his assist. And like I said, it could have been his last game. It definitely was Sergio Tundi's last game. It could be Cabrera's last match as well. Hopefully not. But yeah, that is the end of the season. So let's confirm that by going across the schedule. And there we go. That is the end of our season. We've won both the Rock Cup and the... Why is that stuck like that for? That's a bit strange, isn't it? Apparently there's no other games since February. We have won the Rock Cup. I can't even talk now. We have won the Rock Cup and we have won the Senior League Cup as well as the Gibraltarian League as well. We got through to the first knockout stage of the Europa League, which was fantastic as well. So I think this has been a fantastic season for us. Again, we've progressed pretty well in Europe, and next season hopefully we can progress even more. Of course, tune in for the next episode because we will have quite a few brand new signings to show you off. I already have signed 10 about 10 sort of 16-year-old players that I'll show you in the next episode as well. But I wanted to do them all in one go rather than messing around doing a bit here and a bit there. So yeah, check out next episode. We'll be uploading in a couple of days' time for all of that. Of course, as always, if you have enjoyed this episode, then please do hit that like button to let me know. And if you are new around here, then be sure to hit that subscribe button as well for a lot more of the Gibraltar Challenge. Also, down in the description below, there will be a link to the Twitter page and the Facebook page for Europa Point. Go over and check them out. It's fun to see the real side of this football, because you start to learn some of the names, you start to learn, obviously, the way the leagues work and all the cup competitions, and it's so good to see it in real life as well, and you can match up the players of who's in your own game. I've been Shabby Gamer, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.